All right. Good afternoon, everybody. All right, let's do a check real quick. Can you see me? Can you hear me? And can you see my screen, candlesticks, etc., etc.? Should be coming in pretty loud and clear right now. All right, we're going to give everyone a couple of minutes to get here because we're still 2 minutes. I see we got a birthday in the house, Tyler K. Happy birthday, my friend. Tyler, I'll make a deal with you. I've got a little something for you if you tell me how old you are. Well, let me rephrase that. If you tell everybody in the chat how old you are, then I got a little something for you. Yeah, just a tiny little amount of public embarrassment. You'll get a small something out of it. 31. Okay, Tyler, so what I want you to do is go in the Blue Sky server. I'm Trader Matt under there. I want you to direct message me, and I will send you the 25 rules of day trading, the little micro course that I got. I don't remember seeing your name or a Tyler in there. So message me. It's a little micro course. I usually charge $30 for it, but I will give that to you for free for your birthday. Obviously, I won't get back to you until after this session is done, but just a little something. And no, that's the only free thing from me today. Because I know how this works. All of a sudden, 50 people are going to have birthdays if I'm giving away shit to people with birthdays. So, anyway, yeah. But he offered that unsolicited. So yeah, just you got to message me. I have a policy. I don't cold message people. That way, I don't have as many impersonators as Josh and Mike, but that way for a fact I'm not messaging. If I reach out to you in the Blue Sky Discord, that's not me. But you're always welcome to message me, so you got to message me there. So yeah, see, that's why I said now that you mentioned birthdays, so that's just a one-time little thing. We're not going to abuse it too much, right? I know every stream I do from now on, I'm coming on, like 80 people are going to have birthdays and stuff. Okay. All right, guys. So it is 4 o'clock on the East Coast. We're going to give everyone 60 seconds to get here because I know our numbers are starting to really pop. I know most people take 5 or 10 minutes to get here, but we're not going to wait that long because, oh my bleeping goodness, what a day. This was, guys, trading. How many times do I have to tell you? Trading is not easy, but it is simple when things are done right. And today it doesn't get much more simple than this. I don't care if are you a Vwap trader? You should have made money today. Are you a candlestick trader? You should have made money today. Are you a moving average crossover trader? You should have made money today, right? There's no excuse to not follow a lot of the signals and the signs that was market throwing up. I marked this, guys. We were basically in a 90-point range almost the entire day in the NQ. I know a lot of I do most of my trading in the NQ, but I know that's what a lot of you guys do. I know that's what Mike has up on his screen usually most of the day. So I try to keep a common frame of reference for everybody. But holy heck. And I said a lot of curse words today, like in a good exclamatory way. Boy, do we have resistance or do we have resistance? You talk about the most simple concept of technical analysis, guys. Support and resistance, right? And it just doesn't get any more simple than resistance at round numbers, right? 15,900. Now we'll watch together over the course of the next hour or so. Maybe we're able to poke our head above here and close above here. But holy cow, this was my trade of the day, guys. So we had pretty quick resistance. Here, I got to pull this on the chart so it works properly. Oh, come on, don't play this game with me right now. These things do not often play nice together. The only bad thing of TradingView is that it does not play nice with Epic Pen. Oh, I hate you. Okay, anyway. So up in this area, guys, we rejected this 3 times early on. Those that know me, I don't make I sometimes make a couple of trades between 9:45 and 10 Eastern. I almost never trade before 9:45 Eastern, and most of my trades are after 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock my time. So by then we had rejected up here 3 times. So the whole time, I didn't think we'd retest this after we broke down below VWAP, but I'm telling myself, boy, this is very strong resistance, right? I know from some of the Gamma newsletters that I follow, a lot of we're expecting kind of slow days going into the holiday next week, meaning we don't really have the juice in theory, right? Anything can change in the markets moment to moment, day to day, but we don't really have the juice to make a very strong move up or a very strong move down without some sort of fundamental market change, right? And so as we saw this, I'm just sitting here thinking, boy, if we get back up there today, that's a beautiful place to set up a short play, probably a very good short play, right? Sure enough, we got back up here as we moved into the noon hour, at least the noon hour for me, so in the 1 o'clock hour. And guys, this is, I don't know, I got to get in here a little more. I'm going to let's get rid of the drawings here. It's one of the reasons I do not like the drawing tools for, okay, so here we go. So we're up here at 15,900. Okay. What more, like and I'm a VWAP trader, I'm a candlestick trader. These all kind of came in. We're at the +2 standard deviation on VWAP. VWAP is not heavily sloped, right? It's pretty much flat, which means in theory, the +2 standard deviation should act as ultimate overhead resistance. Now, of course, that's not always the case, right? But this is something we're going to be looking for. So this is my thesis. My thesis is a move off of 15,900 combined with the +2 standard deviation band off of VWAP. So it's my thesis, okay? But I don't have a trade yet. What is a trade? You guys have heard me say it many, many times. A trade is where a thesis meets a setup, okay? And so I have my thesis, right? Which is what I just described, and now I have a setup. I have a long, let's get in here even closer. I have a long selling tail, which attempts to push through 900, breaks down. I follow that up. This is labeled as a bearish harami, guys. This is more of a doji, right? And for any of you Steve Neeson practitioners out there, you Steve Neeson disciples, dojis at key areas of support and resistance, but especially resistance, can be very bearish signals, right? And so in this situation, it got in on a break of the low of this candle down here at about 86. I rode this sucker half down to VWAP, the second half down to the -1, and this I wouldn't say I was oversized in this position, but I was bigger than my usual size. I was at my max position size, okay, which for me right now is 4 minis. Okay, I don't typically go higher than that. It's got to be a very extenuating circumstance. I'll let you guys do the math because I don't like to brag numbers because everyone, it's just not how I do it in this business. Everyone else can brag numbers. You're not going to hear that from me. I'm gonna brag process because that's where I have my edge, right? And rode this sucker all the way down. Half off at VWAP, half off at -1 standard deviation. I'll let y'all do the math on that, but it was it's going to be a Merry Christmas if I can catch a couple trades like that per week, right? And see, this is one of the key things of trading, guys, is that we have, I'm trying to stay on top of a couple different things here, guys, that we, again, when you look at your trades, here's a little trick, guys, and we haven't even started the main presentation yet. You guys are getting a little bonus here, right? When we're talking about our trading at the end of the week, okay, if you're somebody who makes more than 15 trades a week, which most of us do, right? Most of us make. I'm usually in the 17 to 20 per week. Okay, anything other than outside of that, it's either a very aggressive week or it's over trading for me, right? But at the end of the week, take your 5 biggest winners, okay, and put them next to your 5 biggest losers, and then forget the plus and the minus sign, right? Where are they lining up, right? If your 3 biggest trades in terms of absolute value are all losers, you probably were pretty close to blowing out your eval or blowing out your funded account or whatever the case may be, right? So again, that's an exercise to do at the end of the month. Take your top 10 winners and top 10 losers and match them up. And at the end of the month, when top 10 winners, top 10 losers, put them together, okay, the top 5 or 6 of those, 4 or 5 or so, all of them should be winners as opposed to losers, right? Because you want your winners to eat up your losers and then some, right? Because that's how you make money. If you can just avoid big losers, right? So you don't take those $1,000 losers, those $2,000 losers, depending on account size. And you can just sit there. You can, guys, you're going to go back and forth a lot. Plus 300, minus 400, plus 700, minus 200, plus 500, minus 300, minus 400, plus 200, plus 700, plus 1,500, right? Now, all of a sudden, what's been kind of an up and down, a yo-yo trading week, but because you hung in there on one winner and you let your winner run, now all of a sudden it ends the week very, very well. All right? So again, guys, thanks for showing up today. Just a little brief, I do have to put this up, guys, just because this is what we do here. So just give me, we don't have a ton of PowerPoints, in fact, just a couple today, but we do have to put up our disclaimer for legal purposes. So let me go ahead and just go ahead and put that up on the screen for a minute. You don't need me to read that to you, so I'll just leave that up while I get a drink, okay? How's everybody doing today? Green or red today? I always ask that question in the first minute, and I laxed on that today. So everyone just type in the chat whether you were green or red. You don't have to tell me how much. I just want to know green or red. If you've been trading for more than a year, guys, really not a whole lot of excuse to be red today. But guys, listen, you can take, if you're inexperienced or you haven't gotten all your dumb mistakes out, you're going to have days like this today where where you struggle in very good trading environments, and that's okay, guys. This was a great day for momentum trading. There's going to be thousands of them in your career. Okay, if I always say I'm not interested in helping people make a quick buck or the profit. I want to build people to be 10-year traders, 20-year traders, 30-year traders, right? That's what I want for you. I don't want you to have a brief flash in the pan career. Maybe you make 10 grand, or and then you blow out a funded account and you're just like, well, I made that money. No, I work with people who do this for a living, right? So anyway, guys, here is the agenda for today. All right, I'm going to take you through my charts over the course of about the next 15, 20 minutes, just show you what I have and talk a little bit about how I use it, okay? And today was just a great day to show you some of this stuff, especially the candlestick and the Vwap based stuff, because this is again just a fantastic day for this type of situation, right? Also, what we're going to do then is I'm going to talk a little bit about just kind of the well. Trying to think of the right way to phrase this. You'll see, right? Rather than me try to explain something, you'll see. The very end of this, guys. Obviously Blue Sky will do. I'm sure they'll do some Black Friday stuff and all that next week. I'm doing my Black Friday sale today, and I'm going to tell you about it at the very end of this presentation. For those of you that missed out on the coaching sessions, I offered 5 coaching sessions at a pretty steep discount, guys. They sold out in 3.5 minutes. And today, I've got a bundle of things, including a coaching session that I'm going to give you for about 80% off. This will be the last time in calendar 2023 that I offer any type of coaching, one-on-one coaching stuff, okay? And the reason I'm doing it, even though, it's a time commitment, is you can thank the I've done 4 of the 5 sessions. I got another one next week. You thank those 4 people because it was 4 outstanding sessions, very enjoyable sessions. So anybody, if you're listening, you got one of those sessions, you are responsible for me doing more of those because I had a great experience with you 4. And so I'm really looking forward to doing that again. Okay, we are also giving away Blue Sky 2 $25,000 eval giveaways in about 5 minutes. I'm going to put the link for that in the chat like we always do, and you'll have approximately a half hour to sign up for that. And so at the very end of this session, we're going to spin that wheel, and we're going to go ahead and award 2 of those. So you got to stay tuned for that, guys. There's always things that pop up as well. Usually somebody messages me with other things as well. We'll see if that happens today. That's one of the benefits of this, guys, and one of the reasons Blue Sky brought me on. Obviously I'm here working with them, but I'm not an employee there, right? And so it's nice to have a little separation where I can say certain things that they're not a broker dealer, Ninja Trader or some of these other places, but they do work closely with them, so they have to be very careful regulatory wise, compliance wise, some of the things they say, whereas I, being an independent education provider, can be a little more aggressive in some of that stuff, and it gives them a little bit of cover with that as well, right? And that's why you see a lot of third-party independent educators coming on and helping out some of these things, because we have a little bit of a different perspective, and a little bit of a little different experience, right? And I'm one of the few I'm not high-profile educators, but I'm one of the ones out there that has a little bit of a profile, and I have no background in like the pits in Chicago or New York or anything like that. You look at the big boys of education; they all got their training on the street or in the pits in Chicago, right? And that's helpful, right? You can learn something from those individuals. But for those of us that just kind of slaved and grinded over a computer for many years in our houses trying to figure this out, we're the ones that can help you the most, in my opinion. So, and that's why, again, one of the reasons I like to partner with Blue Sky in these events, because they truly give a crap about education, and it's their business model to get you guys into a live brokerage account and have you making a ton of money. Because when you're in a live brokerage account and you're making a ton of money, obviously they get a very small percentage of that, and that's what you have to do. Listen, guys, I've checked out all the other companies as well. I know a lot of people have accounts otherwise. Once you really figure this out, you don't want to jump through hoops for withdrawals. You don't want to jump through hoops for all that kind of stuff, right? You want the money to be real money, right? When you're in a live sim situation and you request a payout, that comes out of the company's accounts, okay? That doesn't happen once you're in the brokerage phase here with Blue Sky, okay? So no matter what happens in your future trading career, if you're in the funded trader companies, and again, obviously I can recommend Blue Sky because I'm here, but just make sure you're in a live brokerage account, because once you truly figure it out, you're not YOLOing, you're not flash in the pan kind of stuff, but once you truly figure it out, that, guys, is where there's real power in your trading. And again, when you can request a payout in the morning and it's there in the afternoon or the next day within 24 hours, that's a beautiful thing, man. Not having to jump through hoops for your money, which is, you made it trading, so it's your money, right? All right, guys. So before we get into the main topic at hand, I'm going to go ahead and post the link to sign up for the giveaway. Just a second here. Where was that? Okay, got it. Big shout out to my main man Raj on the controls today. Raj, if you could go ahead and sticky that for me, I would really appreciate that. So this is the link, guys. It is there in the chat. You see Meteor's trading. This will get sticky to the top of the chat momentarily. Can I do that? I don't even know how to do that, to be honest with you. But anyway, so sign up there. You can only sign up once. Okay, if you sign up multiple times and you win, because we just check the winners to save time, and you win, you will not. First of all, you won't be awarded the account, and second of all, you will be disqualified from all future giveaways. Okay, so just play nice, enter once, and we'll spin the wheel twice here in T-minus 30 minutes. You have 30 minutes to sign up for that, so go ahead and get to that, and we will go. Okay, I see the poll, a lot of green. That's good. Some red. That's, hey guys, again, that's going to happen, and it's okay. The most important thing in this business, guys, like I'm really I did very well today. It's my third best day of the year. Very, very excited for this, right? But as of tomorrow, my P&L is zero again. My daily P&L is zero. Actually, as of pretty quickly, right, when the day resets in futures. Last day, next day. That's it. Okay, when you do a good job and you trade well and you don't make stupid mistakes. Honestly, pat yourself on the back. Maybe having a nice adult beverage if you're over 21. And take some time to really appreciate that, and then put it behind you. It's over. You got to go make it again the next day. Same thing with losses, guys. Learn from your losses, learn from your bad trades, your red days, and then put it behind you and move on. Traders, we just have this. We have this. Any emotions, right, can kill you, and even positive emotions. When I first started being consistently successful about seven and a half years ago, right, and began to have those days stack up and the weeks stack up, man, it was euphoric, right? And then I actually had a month, I had about 3 straight months of really good profits, and I had about a 2-3 week period where I really struggled because I was getting a little too full of my own stuff, right? you know, just feeling a little cocky, right? Now I got these markets things done. I let me tell you this, guys. It doesn't always happen as quick as we'd like, and it doesn't always happen it's the same way to the same people. But the market is undefeated when it comes to humbling people who need to be humbled. Okay, again. You know, all these YouTube, listen, there's all tons of YouTube traders out there and people that, you know, and that's fine. I'm not to say this person's good, this person's bad, right? But a lot of the buy the dip crowd for the first couple years of COVID, once the markets got choppy in 2022 and into 2023, a lot of those guys stopped on their channels. Like there's channels you can go to that had a video every day about how much money they made for about 2 years, and magically that kind of stopped, right? Because their strategy was just buy the dip, and that worked beautifully on both a day and swing trading basis for a while. Every strategy works until it doesn't, guys. There's not a strategy. I'd be willing to bet almost any kind of strategy that you use today, 10 years from now, you won't be using it. Now, it may be similar. You know, there's some timeless things that, you know, RSI, moving average crossovers, things like that. But, you know, you need to constantly be tweaking and finding your edge and adjusting your edge and going from there. So, guys, I want to take you through, again, my charts, what I've got on them, a little bit of how I use it. So let's break down. This is, first of all, I use just a very basic Renko chart for my RTT trading setup. You recall last week, guys, I was talking about a micro course I put together that called the RTT trend, Renko trend trade, right? And so I have a very basic Renko chart on the 5 minute, or excuse me, this is on the 3 minute. I don't know how that got changed. 3 minute, 1 blocks. Again, very, very simple. I use the pattern that I'm looking for is kind of a modification of a cup and handle with a couple of attachments to it. Again, that course is available on my site, but this is very basic, guys. And I'll look at this about every 5 minutes just to check in on it. Usually I'll set a couple of notifications on my chart. But other than that, guys, it's just very simple. And I keep this off. This is usually a smaller chart, usually only about 6 inches high, and it's off on one of my side monitors because, again, it's not my main, it's one of my main strategies, but there's nothing else on this. It's very, very simple. Now let's get into my main chart, okay? And I have a lot on this chart, and I know there's people that have 40,000 lines on their chart. If they can do that and be profitable, hey, more power to them. I do like to keep things very simple, all right? So I want to just kind of break all this down, right? So let's start at the very top. Volume. You guys, that's a default on TradingView, right? And this is TradingView, guys. Everything I have on my screen right now, if you're a TradingView user, is free, and I'll show you all of them at some point. The most important thing I have on here, guys, is, and I want to strip everything down except Vwap. So give me just a second here. We'll even get rid of volume, get rid of the squeeze, get rid of ATR. Okay, Vwap. The indicator that I use is a free indicator that's part of a group of paid indicators, but this one is free. It's called the Vwap intraday. Again, if you type in the Vwap on TradingView, it'll pop up a lot of things. This one, however, is free, and so you can kind of see how this goes here. So right here, again, we're going to play with me on these things again. Here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to close this. Let's see if this works. Nope, still going to be a piece of crap. No, all right. Oh, actually, if I take this out of this, will this work? No. Ugh, that's the one thing I just despise about this. Anyway. Oh god, and their drawing tools just suck. All right, guys. So sorry, we're just gonna have to kind of. So this line here is VWAP volume weighted average price. This is the +1 standard deviation band. This is the +2 standard deviation band. -1 standard deviation, -2 standard deviation. Guys, you don't need to get heavy into probabilities or statistics, but I do recommend, if you don't know what standard deviations are and the bell curve and all that kind of stuff, check it out, okay? Go to Investopedia. It's a great free resource, and just study up a little bit on that. You can learn kind of the basics of it in about an hour, maybe even less. And this is all we're doing, guys, right? We're playing the statistics. We're playing the probabilities. That's literally what we do. That's what we're trying to do. When we get into a trade, we have zero knowledge of where that trade is going to go, right? We don't have a clue. But what we do have is a a track record of a similar thing happening a certain amount of times, right? So all we need is that, we talk about a coin flip, 50-50, right? All we need is that small edge. It can even be 51 or 52%, and with enough space and enough time and enough weight and enough trades, we'll get where we're trying to do. Now, ideally, we want to be higher than that, right? Uh-oh, guys. I just got a message from the boss of Blue Sky, one of the bosses, obviously. It's a company. It's got a lot of people in it, but the man, the myth, the legend, Josh, has just informed me there is going to be another flash sale today, guys. So those of you that are watching here, I'm going to give you the code at the end. You got to stick around. But it is another flash sale for 50% off of a Blue Sky evaluations. Guys, you are getting so much value today, right? You're about to get that. There's going to be giveaways. I've got the biggest sale I've had in 2 years coming up, and I'm going to tell you all about it in the next half hour. Ooh, I'm excited. It's a good... I will tell you this. Statistically speaking, because we're talking about stats, right? What is being offered to you, both from me, through at least one of you, it will change your life, right? Hopefully for the better, obviously. Okay, there's somebody here right now that I believe is going to be a millionaire trader. Hopefully there's lots of you. But statistically speaking, I would say there's at least one of you who's going to get there, right? Because these views, I know we've got, we have about 130 people watching live, but these things rack up 700-800 views, right? So one of you is going to be a really good trader and make a lot of money. Maybe you hit that magic M mark. Okay, I hope it's a lot of you, but especially, I'd love for somebody. I'm waiting for. I've been at Blue Sky for about a year, guys, right, and helping out with you with some of these things. I'm waiting to hear, and I know it's going to be 2, 3, 4 years from now, but I'm waiting to get an email from somebody who says, "Hey, I remember when you were doing this event for Blue Sky. I got a 50% off. I grabbed your one of your coaching sessions with your courses and all that." And it took me a little time to figure it out. It took me, another year after that. But then I started consistently making money, and I just made, a $100,000 withdrawal or whatever the case may be, right? Like that's what I want. I've gotten a couple of those emails over the years, and guys, it just takes like one every year or two of something like that, and it just invigorates me for like the next year, 2 years, whatever. I've worked for a couple of different companies over the years as an employee, and so when I leave those, I can't communicate with clients usually for about a year or two after that. But I have people reach out, and I have people that follow me various places that I go, and I love hearing those stories. Yeah, four digits a day consistency, and that takes time. That's going to take time, but that's how you get there, right? Guys, I recommend having a few strategies to trade, right? Like I have about 4 that I consistently trade, but you really only need one. You need one that gives you an edge, and you need to scale it. Okay, so thanks for that little aside there. So basically on VWAP here, guys, when it comes to standard deviation, this is what I play, right? And I have a small course that's actually part of this bundle as well called the Vwap Tap course. It talks about what I look for as price action comes into Vwap, right? And what I'm looking for in terms of playing from Vwap to the +1 standard deviation, right? Now I was in a short trade at this point, but there was a wonderful setup here. I've got my arrows. There's one here. It's not a VWAP. There we go. Oh, I got to click this stupid thing again. One here. So just 2 setups here over the course of a couple of hours that really set up well. And again, that the setups for all that are in that product. But this is the type of stuff, guys, that there are traders who have nothing but VWAP on their screen. Right, some of them. I know a trader. I took a course about 7 years ago on VWAP, and I was using it for stocks at the time because it's a really good. It translates across multiple asset classes, right? And one of the guys actually took. He had a little thing built into his platform. He would take trades. It was a stock trader again. He would take trades on dollar amount rather than shares. So he would basically, I think his position size was about $10,000 because he had a pretty good size account. And so he wasn't even worried about price, but he just played VWAP. He had a couple of setups that he did, and he wasn't even interested. He didn't even want to know. He didn't even have the scale over here. Okay, because all he knew is this is the amount of money I'm putting into each trade. This is what I'm risking, and this is how I'm doing it, right? Yeah, so thanks for pointing that out, guys. We do, you need to enter, you need to like this channel or like this event, and you need to subscribe to Blue Sky, because that's why we ask for your YouTube usernames. All right, Club Trading, I love that. I love that attitude, man. And listen, guys, there is a certain amount of stubbornness that's involved in trading, right? You've got to be able to, one of my trading psychology events I did a while ago, I talked about your first year of trading, you have to be able to remain positive in the face of overwhelming negativity, right? Because you're going to lose money your first year of trading. In most people's cases, it's going to be on evals, right, or resets, or whatever the case may be. Almost everybody, from the time that they say, I am now a trader, I'm making trades, 1 year later is going to be net negative, and that's okay. And actually, you know, with evals and resets and all that, you're going to lose less money than I did my first year. Okay, but it's when you're able to push that negativity aside. Now, you still need to make changes, right? If after a year you're not profitable, something's got to change. Like I always say in here, if you're on your 25th eval, you better tell me what you're doing differently time number 25 than the first 24, because you need to change something. You know, losing 1, 2, 3 evals, okay, that can happen. Just if you're a little oversized and the market goes heavy against you, that can happen. But if you lose 25 or more, because I know some of you have done more, or you lose 3 funded accounts, something's got to change. Okay, so you have to be able to stay positive in the face of overwhelming negativity, right? All right, so let's go back and add the rest of these things on this chart. Let me clear the drawing tools here. Okay, there we go. So first of all, actually, I don't want to. We're not going to get too much into the leg-based candle stuff, because that's actually something I'm still kind of playing with and working on, because I don't know much about this tool. So don't worry about that right now. In fact, we'll get this off here. Okay, the candles. So this is a nice little tool, and I forget exactly what it's called, but you can play around with it, and there's several. This just labels candle patterns, guys, right? And again, I look at a few things differently, like bearish harami versus a bear. This is kind of a doji right here, even though it technically is not a doji. I basically look at this as a doji as far as the decision of the market, right? Because we push up here, we come back down. So this to me is a topping candle, a pretty bearish candle. We have an inside candle here, indecision. We don't push up over here, and again, so you get in here. This is a entries here. We make a new high, I'm out of the trade, right? So we're risking less than 20 handles there to make quite a bit on the way down, okay? But things like engulfing candles sometimes can be hard to see. And engulfing candles for me, and according to this tool and the technical definition, it's only real body. We're not necessarily worried about the wicks or shadows or whatever you want to refer to them as, right? And then so we get bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing. This is technically not bearish engulfing, but it's pretty damn close. A bearish harami. So this is all indecision right here, right, guys? And seeing this labeled, inverted hammer here as well, as it labels them in hammers and all that kind of stuff. So I know all this stuff. I've studied candlesticks for many, many, many years. But it's nice to have it labeled. It takes a little of the guesswork out, right? And even if I look at something a little different, like, you know, candlesticks are one of those tools that are like everything else. Yeah, they mean, you know, they're supposed to mean a certain thing, but we're all going to look at it a little differently, right? Like I teach patterns that are like topping patterns, right? Like this here. This isn't an evening star pattern, but there's some similarities, not necessarily in the pattern, but in the psychology behind it, because that's what every trade is, right? Every candle is just a collection of the psychology of traders and whether they think we're going up or down within that time period, right? Everybody said, well, the algos are in there trading too. That's great. At some point, a human programmed that, right? So it's human emotion, human thought, human reasoning, human logic behind all of this, right? And I know everyone brings up sort of the AI revolution over the past couple of years, and there's little things in the market I've noticed that may be a little differently, and I'm sure the big firms are experimenting with that kind of stuff. But again, at the end of the day, the candles mean what the candles mean. They're timeless. They're classic. Candlesticks have been traded in the Japanese rice market for like 800 years or maybe more than that. I don't remember the exact date, but it's several hundred years, right? And then it's really only been fairly recently in the last 40, 50 years that Western traders have started to integrate them into the technical analysis, right? Everything, if you go back and look at the, any stock trading book from like 50 years ago, most of them look like that, right? And then more recently, of course, we had the, did they have the bar charts, right? I know some old traders that still use this, right? But for me, it's the candlesticks, I love engulfing candles. I love buying and selling tails at key areas of support and resistance. I could play those all day. Well, I do, right? Look down here, guys. Again, down here. Now, I didn't take this particular trade because I just gotten out of the long trade that I was talking about, but or excuse me, the short trade. Oh, yeah, that was over here. Anyway, regardless of that, guys. Again, buying tail, big buying tail. This just shows you guys. I have this is what I call a multi-wick rejection. This is about as powerful of a pattern as they get. And guys, one of the reasons is not just what this means, right? Candle wicks are very powerful in daily stock charts. Maybe not as powerful on the 5-minute in the NQ or the ES or in futures. But what this means is I've got a built-in stop, right? For this type of candle, guys, if I had gotten in this trade, if I get on this candle, my stop is going to be the bottom of this candle, right? The lowest price traded here. If I get on this candle, it's going to be the lowest price traded on this candle. It's a built-in stop, and I really, really like that. All right, guys, I want to catch up. Sorry, I haven't caught up on the questions. You guys can fire questions in here as much as you'd like. Oof, 70K down over 3 years. I was 40 down in my first year, so I can sympathize with that. So all I would ask is, what are you changing, right? A discount code to help me test Blue Sky. A 50% off code is dropping in about 15 minutes, guys. I've got a ton for you in about 15 minutes, guys. But in the meantime, make sure you sign up. The giveaway link is sticky to the top. You can see where it says Blue Sky Trading Company. Right here. Well, it was right there. Oh, we're gonna play this game, huh? Okay. Anyway, yeah, it's right up there at the top. All right. Let's get back here. Okay, so the candle labels. The other thing I have on here, guys, you can't really see it too much. Let's see, can I bold this? No. NR7 indicator. You may not be able to see on this chart. And again, the drawing here. Let me get my handy dandy thing out here. Right at the end of this this arrow here, guys, there's a 7. There's a 7 right here, and that's called narrow range 7. And this was somebody that there's NR4 candles and NR7 candles, and this was somebody that crunched like millions of candles over many time periods many years ago. And it's basically this candle, when a candle is completed and this 7 pops up over it at the end, that means this candle is the narrowest range candle of any of the previous 7. Okay, and when you see these, the theory behind market movement is what? Price action contraction leads to price action expansion. Okay, and that happens 100% of the time. Now, it doesn't always happen in the time frame we want. It could take hours, days, weeks, or even months for that to happen. But every time the price action contracts, it expands, and every time the price action expands, it contracts. Okay, that's the markets. Sometimes it just doesn't happen in the time frame that we want it. There's funds that just make millions, guys, on when implied volatility gets too tight. They buy it. When it gets too expanded, they sell volatility, right? That's just what they do. The numbers are, you get, especially if you get into options chains and delta and gamma and all those fun little Greeks in the options chains. It's something that's really, really powerful to to play those percentages and those numbers. You want to really get a probabilities PhD in the markets. Spend some time studying options chain and what the Greeks mean and all of that. Guys, I don't work for Blue Sky, so I like the questions about. I just do these events as a contractor. I don't have access to any of their data or any of their systems, and so I can't answer questions about data fees and all that kind of stuff. I ask those. There's a Q&A section in the Discord, in the Blue Sky Discord, which you can find a link. If you're not part of the Discord, get in there. We got a ton of great stuff going on in there. On the main page, bluesky.pro, there is a link for that in the bottom left-hand corner. So go join that, and in the Q&A, ask any questions that you have about that. Okay, guys, I'm giving you about a 10-minute warning, 12-minute warning on the sign-up. Make sure you sign up for the giveaway, and then we're gonna do that pretty quickly here. Okay, so NR7, we talked about that. Now let's go down here. The squeeze. Okay, there's a lot of variations on this. This is something you guys are familiar with. John Carter over at Simpler Trading. They used to do a lot of different education stuff. They still do. They're more into selling indicators now. I've done some events with John in the past. I've only talked to him in passing, but seems like a nice enough guy. He wrote the foreword for my mentor, one of my mentors, Sarah, her book on options. And so he created this squeeze tool. Really, this is just a visualization of. I don't trade off this, guys. I know he's got setups and systems that are just built on this. This is basically just the Keltner channels and the Bollinger Bands and the relationship between the two of them. If you don't know what Keltner channels and Bollinger Bands are, don't worry about it right now. Although those are two pretty basic technical analysis tools, it's helpful to kind of check those out. And a lot of big money use, especially Bollinger Bands, just to kind of get a gauge on market volatility. It's a nice visualization, right? But I will just kind of use this without getting deep into it, guys. For example, if this light blue here with a green dot underneath means that we're in an active, in theory, an active run, right? A run up, meaning we're not squeezing. A squeezing means the price action contracts and then it expands. So the whole thing in the NR7 that I just told you about, this tool is based on as well, right? And so I typically, not always, this is more of a guideline than a rule, won't trade against this, right? Although I did in this situation here, right? So I'm looking at a situation where if I'm not looking at an A+ trade, right? I'm not looking at something that just really gets me excited, but it is a setup. I'm always going to check this as kind of a last resort, okay? And if I'm lukewarm on a trade and this is going against me, I might sit it out, okay? It's got to be this is an A+ trade up here. And this is a good habit to get into, guys, as you learn your settings and your systems and your setups and your plays, grade them, okay? And if you don't know where to start, just kind of start, the ones that are just, you can't help but take the trade. Those are A and A+ trades. This was an A+ trade. I even put this in my journal that this was an A+ trade, okay? But yeah, this was really good. So I'm going to ignore this for that particular trade. But let's say this wasn't, maybe this wasn't as big of a selling tail, okay? And I'm looking down here, well, squeeze is kind of again the slope of VWAP, the fact that VWAP and the thing, not perfectly flat, but flat-ish, right? It's not like doing this, is going to, I'm going to be looking at the +2 standard dev band for a really nice retrace at that point, right? That's just where I'm looking at. It's just, yeah, I mean, there's nothing more that I can say. Down here is, if you were to tell me, guys, you get one indicator on your chart, it's going to be VWAP, because I can do a lot with just VWAP. But if you're telling me I get two, number two is going to be the ATR. Okay, ATR stands for average true range. Okay, it's a long, involved process to explain what that means. But the long and short of it is, or the short of it is, it's on average, how much over the past, however you have it set up for. I believe this is set up for 14 right now. 14, yeah. Check. I prefer 14, but check some of the default settings in some platforms. It's 20 and not 14. But so just check that. You can use whatever you want. So over the past 14 candles, what is the average true range of those candles? And it does take into account gaps and things like that, which obviously are not as big a concern in futures as they are in stocks and things like that. But what this is going to tell me is it's going to help me from chasing trades, and it's going to show me, it's going to do two things. First, A, keep me from chasing trades, and B, it's going to keep me from or tell me how big of a range do I have, how much volatility is going on in the markets, right? I really like to see this above 18 during the day. Now, it's going to be small when the markets first open because the candles before the market that it's taking into account at that point are pretty small. But once we've gotten about a half hour into the market, I'm going to look at the ATR, and it's going to give me a pretty good idea of where we're at. If we're sitting down here, we've had days where it's like 11 or 12. There's just not a lot for me to do. I'm a momentum trader, right? In that situation, I'm not a scalper, right? I'm not playing for 8 or 10 points in the NQ. That's something, so in this case, it's just, I need to see that increase. Now, yes, it is going to spike at the open. It's going to decline throughout the day. That's natural. We finished at 14. That's not great. Or actually, we finished, where was it? Back here. Okay. Yeah. But we were up, guys, at above 20. Ooh, I love above 20, right? That gives me a lot to do at that point, right? As we creep up over 18, over 20, the markets are going to be moving, right? The two things that I look at to help me determine how much market movement we're looking at are A, the ATR, and B, the space between the dev bands here, right? Between VWAP and the dev bands. And I usually have, where did it go? I usually have a little thing up here, at least I do on my upstairs computer, that tells me that distance. And that'll just help me to determine, are the markets moving, right? Are we just not in a situation, like, again, I know this is pre-market, guys, right? But there's, like this here, there's nothing to do here. There's nothing for me to trade here, okay? This here, oh, there's plenty to trade there, right? There's a lot going on at that point. So again, just little things that can help me determine specifically where we're at, right? Okay. So that's what's on this particular chart. The only last thing I'm going to show you guys, because I gotta go into my PowerPoint for this once I find it. I don't have this program on my studio computer, but this is Edge Pro X, and this is what I have here, guys. This is a system I'm actually playing around with right now. It's about, moving average crossovers are a very basic and popular thing, but this is just, and I can give you the settings on this later. I don't have them handy, but this is not something I'm actively trading. I'm just developing it and testing it. I do look at this down here. This is my volume delta. Okay, why is this not working even on here? Okay, so it's obviously not, it's an Epic Pen problem. But this is volume delta. This will show me what's the net buyers and sellers within a candle, right? So for example, this candle here, net sellers, this candle here, net buyers, right? We don't need to go heavy into this because this is more of like a secondary, even tertiary thing that I'm looking at, because the price action is what ultimately tells the story. But it is helpful to notice, guys, right? As we were running up here, a lot of indecision in these candles, right? Selling candle, buying candle, but not by much. Pretty good size buying candle here. Not so much here. Pretty good one here. And then we started to kind of trail off. And obviously, this can be a little bit of a lagging indicator, so it's not something I use very, very strongly and very often. But it does give you a little bit of a secondary kind of look at what's going on in the markets. All right, guys. So we've got 3 things to cover here in the last couple of minutes, and they all involve you. Okay, so right now I want to just I do want to show you this, guys, a little graphic I came up with. What do you need to be a successful trader, guys? These are the 3 pillars of trading, and I've said this I've probably done what, 20-30 of these events over the last year, and I've said this in at least half of them. What are the 3 pillars of trading? We have strategies, we have community, and we have mentorship. Okay, I've yet to meet a successful trader that does not have all 3 of these things. Now, strategy speaks for itself, right? That you need strategies with an edge. You need the risk management skills and the trading psychology to be able to trade those strategies, right? Community and mentorship can look a little different to everybody else. Thankfully, guys, the Blue Sky Discord is a really good community, right? It's good enough you can ask a lot of questions, right? There's live trading in there. Obviously this event is on YouTube, but we plug these events in there. But you can also ask questions, and it's not so, guys, there are some trading discords out there that are just insane. And you ask a question, and within 30 seconds, it's off the page, and nobody sees it and responds to it, right? Your questions can get answered. You're welcome to @ me with any questions you got. Tag me in something trading related, guys, because especially the first 2 or 3 hours of the market, I don't look at the Discord. I'm pretty zoned into my own trading, right? But if you have a question, like any kind of trading relating question to me, you're more than welcome to tag me in that. And obviously, if you just have a quick question on Blue Sky's procedures, policies, whatever, that's what the Q&A is for. And usually somebody like Raj or Josh or one of the other support team members can get back to you fairly quickly on that, right? And you all have sat through, support waiting times of several hours, but for just, simple questions or, obviously if you have a support issue with your account, you go to the website because a lot of people can't help you with that in the Discord, but on the website, you're getting directly an account person there. But the Q&A, hey, how does this work or how does this work? Every week people ask, newer questions because they may be new to the Discord and they didn't see where that question was asked before, and that's okay. Ask questions, okay, about trading, about, procedures, all of that. Ask questions. Closed mouths don't get fed. Right. So, guys, before I get into the Blue Sky giveaway, which we're going to, you got 2 minutes. You've got 2 minutes on that, guys. Right. I want to tell you about my Black Friday sale that I'm doing today only. Okay. It's a mentorship bundle because we talked about community and mentorship. So you have a good community in the Blue Sky Discord. So you need strategies and you need mentorship, right? So part of this bundle, 2, not just 1, 2 one-on-one coaching sessions. Guys, I offered 5 coaching sessions for the first time in about 3 months at about 60% off of the normal rate. And I told you they sold out in 3.5 minutes. And when I put a limit on this stuff, guys, it's not a gimmick. You guys saw me, if you weren't here, you saw me go in and delete the coupon after it hit 5 because that was it. If somebody wanted to buy at regular price after that, good for them. But that was, I'm trying to be respectful of my own time because I'm a full-time trader. I'm a part-time educator. I don't want to be doing 10 hours a week of coaching as much as I love talking to you guys. I just, I have a family. I've got a girlfriend. I got things that take up my time that I really enjoy. I love helping traders, but it's not something I can do 15 hours a week, right? So 2 coaching sessions. You're going to get my Trading as a Business course. You're going to get my RTT Trend Futures course that I told you about last week. You're going to get this course I've never offered before, guys. That Vwap tab, all of the Vwap strategies that I use are in this course. And guys, these are the micro courses. They're fairly low cost. The 25 Rules of Day Trading micro course. Guys, this is about 6-7 hours of courses, and that doesn't even count the 2 one-on-one coaching sessions, which are untimed. Usually they go about an hour, but I don't cut it off in an hour. Guys, you can go on my site and buy all of this right now, and it's going to cost you $1,000. But for the next 10 people, and again, not a gimmick, this is what I'm doing. This is Black Friday on Thursday before Black Friday. It's going to be $197. Okay, you can't buy a single coaching session on my site for $197 right now. Okay, but because of the time commitment, this is limited to 10 people, and I figured out how to set the coupon to automatically delete after 10 people. So when you go in there, if you see the price crossed out and it says the $197, you're in, you're good. Okay, but once that hits 10, that's gone. Okay, and if for some reason it's gone, it won't charge your card that much. So let me give you guys the code for this. And the coupon code is already there, guys. This is going in the chat right now. It's also going in the Blue Sky Discord and my Discord. For those of you that are part of that, it's going in the Futures chat channel of Blue Sky Discord. And it's going in my general channel in Discord. All right, guys. 10 people. That's it. So, quite frankly, guys, like I said, you can't get a single coach. I charge $297 an hour for regular coaching sessions. And listen, this may sound cocky, but I'm worth it. Okay, and of the the 4 of the 5 people that did that before, if any of them are here or any people I've worked with in the past, they're more than welcome to pipe up and say whatever, and we'll go from there. Yeah, guys, these are gonna go. They're gonna go. And there's no guarantees in life or anything like that, but I am as sure of that as anything else. My phone is off to the side. I heard it buzz already, so I know because I have alerts set up on my on that kind of stuff. It's already buzzed a couple of times, so they're going. Okay, so honestly, there's no guarantees, and I'm not going to sit here and BS you. Okay, but I firmly believe I can help you get where you want to go. You're going to get 4 strategies, right? Long and short, VWAP tap, long and short, RTT trend. There's actually a couple of bonus ones in the VWAP tap as well. And guys, you can do the sessions whenever you want. You can watch. Actually, I would recommend you watch the courses and start to trade the strategies in there, and then set up your coaching sessions. Coaching sessions, they can be whenever. You want to do one on Monday? If I have availability, that's great. If you want to do them 6 months from now, that's fine as well. I'm not going anywhere, guys. I'm on my site. I'm, wherever I end up in a year from now, 2 years from now, my site will be there. Anything that you have will be redeemable. As soon as you, as soon as you purchase, you get an email sent with a link to go into my calendar and pick out a time. We don't have to go back and forth on that. You go right in there. So I really appreciate that. Couple more buzzes, guys. These things are going. So for those of you that have already got, again, I don't have my phone right near me. Thank you. I appreciate it. I look forward to working with you, working for you, and let's get this done. All right. So we have 2 more little pieces of business that we need to get to. First of all, it is time to give away 2 $25,000 evals. Okay. Of course, I'm biased, but I really hope some of you that just grabbed that package bundle are going to win this. Although I don't know who you are, so there's no bias on my part, or at least official bias, right? All right, so I'm going to go in and get these names. Give me just a second here, guys. I'm going to put the link right back in the chat again, guys. All right. Where is it? Oh, it's in my conversation here. Okay. Let me get the YouTube. We'll do this by YouTube username. Guys, if you win this, you don't need to do anything. Blue Sky will reach out to you. Wow, good. This is more names than we've ever had on this list, guys. Thanks to everybody. I really appreciate that. It is time, guys. So again, we're going to spin this wheel twice. This is for a $25,000, this is a 1-month subscription to a $25,000 eval account with our good friends here at Blue Sky Trading. This is their channel. So we're going to spin this twice. Baby 201 Abel is our first winner. Congratulations. Leave that up for just a second so the Blue Sky guys can write this down. All right, we're going to take your name off. You can only win once. Let's spin one more time. Alex, I don't know if that's a 1 or an I, but Alex will say L2893. You are another winner. Congratulations. All right. Okay, now we just have one more piece of business here, guys. Well, let me get the... So I am going to put the promo code, and this is for 50% off of the Blue Sky. I'm assuming it's all the evals. I don't exactly know, but you can go in and figure it out. All right, so the code, and I don't know if this is limited, but I do know it expires at midnight, and the code is midnight. Midnight, all caps, is your code for 50% off. So here's what I need you to do right now, okay? I need you to go to Blue Sky's website, pick the, I recommend the 50K. Pick a eval account, use the code midnight, and go sign up for that. Then I need you to go check the link that is available in the chat in there, and I need you to go grab that bundle from me. I'm not sold out yet. I just checked. I think I've got 4 left. Okay, but this is guys, this is the last time I'm offering any coaching sessions in 2023. I will probably not offer any more till about Valentine's Day. And again, the reason I'm doing this because I had such a good time with the other ones, and that's 20. Again, these will sell out, so that's 20 hours of my time, which I love to do. Again, I'm one person. Teresias Trading is my company. It is a company of one. I do things a lot differently. I don't have a support team. I do small volume of things. I can be completely honest with you guys. I keep my yearly income from that between 10 and 20 grand, right? There's some guys that make millions of dollars in education and they don't even trade. My primary income is trading. I am a full-time trader. That is my primary income, and education is secondary. I was a basketball coach, and I love working with people and helping them, and especially, seeing people achieve their promise and achieve their dreams. That's something I love doing. So for my own sort of chicken soup for the soul, as it were, I need to do a little bit of this, but I also have to keep a balance, with my life duties and family duties and all of that. So yeah, absolutely, Remy. I appreciate you guys coming. So thanks everyone for coming. I still have 4 left, 4 of those bundles. I'm going to put the code in the chat one more time. It's also in the Blue Sky Discord, and it is also in my Discord as well. And guys, so yeah, if I honestly believe that'll be the best 197 in education you've ever spent in trading. I truly and firmly believe that. And I look forward to talking to those of you that have already jumped on board. And other than that, guys, thank you so much. Go get your Blue Sky eval. Go get your mentorship bundle, and let's get you where you want to be. Have a great rest of your night. I'm Matt from Teresias Trading, and I will see you when I see you. Good night, guys.